That's right. Back at it again, Full Custom Hot Dog here, and we're doing another movie review. That's right. We're going to be talking about the 2020 film, His House, a Netflix exclusive. A film that I had heard people talk about, heard positive things, and said, hey, what the hell, let's check it out. And I was very surprised with what we got. This movie's directed by Remi Weeks, someone I'm not familiar with. This looks to be his first and only big budget, full-length film. And he crushed it. He did a great job, so I'm going to be curious to know what he does next. And before we get into my feelings and thoughts about this movie, what does IMDb say about it, baby? Well, IMDb says, a refugee couple makes a harrowing escape from war-torn South Sudan, but then they struggle to adjust to their new life in an English town that has an evil lurking beneath the surface. So, yes, it's true. That's what this film is about. They actually handled it pretty well. You know, with IMDb, you kind of never know what kind of description you're going to get. And that one was fairly on point, I felt. What is it about? Well, like I've mentioned, or like IMDb has said, you have a couple who flees from southern Sudan. And they are up for asylum with the British government. And I might handle some of the verbiage here incorrectly, so I apologize. Feel free to correct me in the comments, of course. I'm definitely not too knowledgeable about these type of things, so I apologize in advance. And their caseworker's played by Matt Smith, someone who I didn't expect to see in this movie. So, Matt Smith gets them in a house, and it's kind of shitty. It's all beat up and kind of gross, but, you know, they're here, they're going to make the best of it. They kind of got to, or else outskis. So, they're there, and stuff starts to get spooky. And there's a big hole in the wall that, one of them sees, and there's something definitely strange, and it starts to hit an apex point, even to the point where the husband, Bull tries to go to Matt Smith's character and say, hey, I don't like this house. And Matt Smith's like, why? What's wrong? You know, if we move you, you might not get your asylum and you might have to go back. And so he kind of sucks it up and they have to deal with it. So one of the things I like about this movie that really surprised me was it sort of putting the haunted house genre on its head. And when I say that, most haunted house movies are very similar. We have a family, they move in, and then they go, oh, this house is spooky. Well, we better stay here and deal with it. And then that's the movie. But this, I really like what it does, where it says, hey, here's this family from overseas, from somewhere different. And they're here because they need to be to survive, because it was so bad where they're from. And so now they're dealing with this. So it's a little bit more of a fish out of water story than we're used to. Normally it's just like, oh, we come from a town a few states over or across the country. But this is so different. And it's that small twist that really adds so much. And it kind of makes you feel more for the characters, I think, in a way. Because you know that there's some place that's so new and foreign to them and they kind of have to acclimate. So it's a nice twist, and to me it's nothing too huge, but it really does change the way you view this film, I think, in having them be a little bit more than just from a neighboring city, but no, they're actually from a different country entirely, and this is huge to them. Now, that being said, there are some great twists in this movie, and I'm not going to ruin them. You know I don't do spoilers, but there's some genuine scares on top of that. A couple parts really freaked me out. And like I mentioned that twist earlier, that one hit me pretty good. And I didn't see it coming. And that's very important in these twists, as you know, of course, right? That's what makes us really like and appreciate those twists. So it was a pretty surprising watch altogether. This movie's very well done. I feel like I've watched so many Shudder horror exclusives, and they're usually kind of so-so from what it feels like for the most part, that when something really good comes along, and I know this is Netflix and not Shudder, but still, when one of these direct-to-streaming films comes out and it's actually really good, I'm very surprised. This handles so much, so well, so competently that it's just an overall fun experience that I can definitely recommend to pretty much anybody. I think this is a solid watch. I think you're going to get a lot out of it, and I think you're going to be surprised too. But definitely put your phone down, pay attention to this movie. I watched it a couple times. I really liked it. I recommend it to my family, things like that. So of course, let me know what you think in the comments. I did want to keep this one kind of brief, because I don't like to get into spoilers, and I feel like this is still kind of new enough where I don't want to say too much. But you definitely get a lot of them blending into their new surroundings, as well as dealing with whatever's happening in this house. It's a great combination. So, I hope you see it. I hope you enjoy it, of course. And let me know what you think in the comments, as always. But I am your host, Full Custom Hot Dog. You can follow me on Twitter. It's Full Custom Hot Dog without the last O, because it is just too long for Twitter. So, thank you all for watching, and until next time. If you like what you see,
I love what I see.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you can watch whatever comes next. And if you like the music you hear, you can follow me on SoundCloud and Spotify. Check the description for links.